Good evening. This is Pat from Pat's Card Corner, and welcome to Take Two Tuesday. Sorry I'm a little late here, having a couple technical difficulties, so hoping I got them fixed and that this is going to be working. So just give me a minute while I kind of get myself organized here and get everything going. And what you're looking at on my screen right here are the two catalogs that went live today. Today is January 5th. So today, the new mini catalog, it's January through June. So everything in this catalog is good until June. And also the best part is this is one of the best times of the year because it's celebration time. And that means for every $50 you spend, you can choose one of the $50 items in this catalog. And you can see there's paper, there's some stamp sets, there's more paper, more stamp sets. And then there are also a few $100, if you spend $100, like this one, you not only get a stamp set, you also get an entire set of designer series paper that goes with it. And so this is just a great time to be shopping with Stampin' Up. So if you have a extra Christmas money laying around because you know you got stuff for Christmas and you're looking for a good place to spend it, well, right here is, if you're a crafty person, this is where you want to be. I am going to be using several of the products that are in the new catalog today for our project. And anyway, so these are the catalogs. If you do not have a catalog and you would like a catalog, then please let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to send one to you. Hey Pam, hi Cruz, glad you all are here. Yay! I love it when people are watching. Anyway, so these are great. It's just packed full of stuff. I mean, there's like all kinds of stamp sets. I could stand here forever and just show it to you all, but it's better if you look at it yourself, grab a cup of hot cocoa, snuggle up by a fire if you're someplace cold, and look through it and just start shopping. And if you want to shop with me, you can go to my blog, jumping into stamping.com. There's a link there to go to my online store. If you want to use my host code, it's right there. And now let's get started with the project that we're going to do tonight. So if you looked at the post that I put up earlier on my Facebook page, and you're here now, so if you're looking at it now, you'll know. I'm just going to go over the pieces that we need for our card tonight. And the first thing we're going to need is a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 by 11. So this is correct, 5.5 by 11. We're going to do some scoring, so it will be a regular A size 2 card when we're finished. But normally you see 4.25 by 11. This is 5.5. It'll all be good when we figure out. So this one I'm using for tonight's card is Bumblebee because it goes with my other card. The sample I have, I'm going to show you in just a minute. I actually use Whisper White, but you can use any color cardstock you want as long as it coordinates with your paper. And then we are also, I'm going to move this way. Put it this way so you can still see it. You also need another piece, and this piece is 1.25 by 10. And then you'll need a piece of designer series paper that matches it. And this piece is 1 inch by 9.75 inch. So you need those two. I'll put those up here. You will also need 2 more pieces of that same designer series paper. There's 2 pieces, and these are 1 by 5.25 inch. I'll leave those right there. You need 2 of those. You need a piece of designer series paper that kind of coordinate. So you need 3 different patterns of paper that'll coordinate. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need 1 more piece. This is actually the other side. Great thing about Stampin' Up! Paper, you can use both sides. This paper, they coordinate on both sides. This piece is 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. I'm gonna scoot this up here a little bit. And then you're also gonna need 2 pieces of Whisper White that are 3 1/2, this way, 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. And you're gonna need 2 of those. If you're using Whisper White cardstock as your base, you don't need to have these extra 2 pieces if you don't want. You will need to have these pieces if you're using a piece of colored cardstock, especially if it's a darker color, so that, you know, when you write your message on the inside, when you're stamping on the outside, that you can see what you're writing. So if you had a piece of black paper, you wouldn't be able to show people what you're doing. So you will need that. You also need a little bit of ribbon, and if I can get this out, I stuck a pin in here so I'm using this Bumblebee Gingham ribbon because it matches. Great thing about Stampin' Up! All their stuff matches. You will need a little bit of ribbon, and you will need something to kind of embellish the front of your card. So I'm going to show you the card real quick that we're going to make, and you'll see what I mean by embellish. I'm going to just move this stuff out of the way. I'll leave it there just for a second. If you want to take a screenshot, if you want to stop your video real quick and write down all the measurements, I will put the measurements in the comments. And when I post this on Facebook, not on Facebook, on YouTube, I will put the dimensions in the comment part or description underneath that. So you'll have that there. So there they are. So hopefully you've got them, or you can watch this later and rewind back to this part. So I'm just gonna take these off to the side and show you the card that we're gonna make. Okay, so this is the card that we're gonna make. It is a fun fold card. I'm not sure what the fun fold name is. I like to call it like a tuck-in card. I don't know. Anyway, it has a belly band around it, so this is just going to slide right off, and when it opens like this. So this piece actually tucks inside when you close it, and then this just will slide right back on, just to keep it closed, just to give a little decoration on the front. And this is what I meant by something to embellish it. So these 2 pieces are it's a daisy punch that I made that with. You can use anything. You can use other flowers, depending on what kind of paper you have. If you're doing a birthday card, you could put little balloons there. You just want something there because it's going to cover up where the 2 pieces of the belly band meet and cross over. So that is why we have that there. And just to show you the card again real quick, when it opens up, you actually open it up just like that. So you can kind of see how it folds around just a little bit. So let's get started and make our card. And my computer's doing weird things. All right. Hey Judith, it's good to see you again. I think you've been on here before. So all right, so you will need your paper trimmer. So we're going to do just a little bit of scoring on the card. This piece, remember, is 5 1/2 by 11. And let me just get my scoring thing here so I remember and tell you the right things, because it would be bad if I told you wrong. So we are going to, and you want to move your cutting blade out of the way down to the bottom. So the darker one is your cutting blade. The lighter gray one is your scoring blade, and that's the one that we're going to be using. So we are going to put this on here lengthwise. So this is the 11-inch side, and we're going to score it at 1 1/4. So we're just going to put that on the 1 1/4 inch. Close this up. Do a little scoring. Then we're going to move it over to 5 1/2. So this is 5.5, close it up, do a little scoring. And then the last one, I've got to open my arm out here. Move that out of the way. And this is going to be at 9 1/4. So I'm going to scoot it all the way over to 9 1/4. And then we're going to score it right there. And that's all we're going to do. So that was 1 1/4, 5.5, and 9 1/4. Okay, so now let me move this out of the way. Don't need that anymore. And now we're just going to do a little bit of folding and creasing. I had to go get my little bone folder here. So what we're going to do is this piece on the end, so this is where our 1 1/4 inch score mark on, it's going to fold in toward the center. So you're just going to fold it in and burnish it really good. Then this is the 5.5 inch score mark. We're just going to fold that over to the center, and we're just going to burnish that. And then this right here is the last one where we had done it the 9 1/4. So we're just going to fold that back over like this. And now we have all our folds. And this one actually, when you close the card, it actually tucks inside just like that. So you can see how it's going to open. Okay. So now you can go ahead and kind of open it up a little bit. And the first piece that you're going to want to get are the 2 pieces that are 1 by 5 1/4. Move that, take that off. And we are going to put those 2 pieces, we're going to put one here on the end, and then we're going to close it up and we're going to put the other one right here. So these 2 pieces are going to go on either side of this flap. So let me just get a little bit of adhesive. I'm actually going to use my Stampin Seal today. I know, I don't ever hardly use that, but I think I finally figured out how to get it to go so it doesn't get stuck. All right, so I'm just going to put that on the inside here. This card goes together pretty fast. It's pretty easy. That's what I like, fast and easy. And then the other piece is going to go on this side. I'm actually going to flip it over just because it's easier to put it on and when it's a little bit flatter than when it's folded up. So, and okay. Oop. All right, now it's getting stuck. It's going to make a liar out of me. All right. And then we're, oops, glue on my hand there. Just going to put that right here. It's going to kind of center it right on that little panel right there. Okay, so now we have one on either side. Now we're going to do this panel, and this one is our piece of Designer Series paper that is 4 by 5 1/4, and it's going to go right here. So we're just going to put some adhesive on the back. And if you joined me the last time, you might recognize this side, the back side of this piece, because I used it for another card. So I love this paper. In fact, I'll show you where it is in the catalog. This is part of one of the free sets of papers that you can get called Flowers and Field. So that piece is going to go right there. This piece is going to have one of the Whisper White pieces on it. And we're going to do a little stamping on that, so I'm not going to put that on right yet. But we will in just a minute. And then this last piece is your other piece of Designer Series paper. And I can see that I cut it the wrong size here. Yep, I did. So let me fix that. So this piece needs to be, I think I did it, where did I put it at? Yeah, why did I do 1 3/4? It should be 1 1/2. So, yep. So I just didn't cut my own piece of paper right. There we go. So this should be 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. Now we have the correct size. And we're going to just put that on. You know, I just love that every time I get on here, I'm making some kind of mistake. But it's good for you because you can see everything is easily correctable. And then this one is going to go on this end right here. There we go. So when you fold it all together, it's going to be folded like that. We are going to put a piece of Whisper White on here because we're going to do some stamping. You wouldn't necessarily have to do that because this cardstock is actually light enough, but I think I want to put that on there. So we're going to do a little stamping on there. But we have to do the belly band first because you have to know where that's going to be so you know where to put your stamping. So I'm just going to set that aside real quick. And this is real easy. So these are the two pieces you'll need for your belly band. This piece is 1 1/4 by 10. This piece is 1 inch by 9 3/4. And you're just going to attach them together just like that. You do need to make sure that you're going to put your adhesive all the way down because when it bends and we wrap it around, you don't want gaps in your paper when you go to fold it. So you do want to make sure that it all gets connected really well. So I'm just going to run it down this side. Yeah, it's stuck to my hand here. And this is probably more adhesive than I'm used to using. I'm going to run it down the other side too. And then I'm just going to attach it right here, right on the center. So you want to kind of have an even amount on the ends and on the side. And hopefully I get it going in the right spot. There we go. And there's your belly band. And now we're going to, you can use, when we're going to attach this, when we wrap it around, you can put tear and tape on the end, or you can use the Stampin Seal, or the Stampin Seal Plus was probably better. You don't want your belly band to come apart when whoever gets your card is sliding it on and off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tear and tape on the end so that I don't have to worry that it's going to be coming apart. So we are going to put the tear and tape on the outside end, but first we're going to wrap it around and see kind of where we want it to be. So I want it to wrap around so it wraps around on this side. So I'm just going to kind of move it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I don't really have a real measurement. So I'm just going to wrap it around there. And then I'm going to wrap this side around right there. And you don't want to get it too tight, so you just kind of want to place it on there. You're not trying to like pull it tight. So now when I open it up, I'm going to put some tear and tape here, and I'm going to put a little bit on this end here too. So we're going to put it on the inside of this one. Oop, I think I need to use my scissors there. I'm going to move this out of the way here. Can't do it sideways. I'm not good at doing things sideways. And then I'm just going to put a little bit right here on this end. I'm actually just going to cut it off with my scissors. And cut that off with my scissors. There we go. Got stuck on my hand. Can't get it off. All right. So now I'm just going to bring this back just so I kind of know where I want it. Make sure I get it tight enough. And I'm just going to take off that strip there. The tear and tape is like double-sided tape, so when you take off the protective back, it's sticky on the other side. There we go. So I'm just going to fold that in. Fold that in. You do want to make sure that the sides are even. And there you go. And there's your belly band. Goes all the way around your card. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp on here. I could just stamp on there, but I actually want to put a piece of white on there. So I'm just going to kind of slide it in there. And you can see, depending on if I want my belly band to be up at the top or in the middle, this is how much room you have to put your sentiment. So you have about this much space. I'm actually going to leave it on here and stamp while it's right on there. So I do have a small stamp. This one says Enjoy the Moment. It actually comes from the stamp set that's called Enjoy the Moment. This is one of the stamp sets that is in the new mini catalog, and you can see it has all kinds of different like little seed pods and some great little sayings on it. Let me move that out of the way. So I'm just going to stamp this in some Memento black ink. And make sure I get it inked up real good. And I'm actually going to stamp it while it's on here, and then I'm going to attach it when I'm done. There we go. Then I'm just going to take it out, and I'm actually going to do just a little bit more stamping. There was a little like leaf right here, and I'm actually going to stamp that so that it goes, so it looks like it's behind those words. I could have stamped it first, but this is going to work. So this is Granny Apple Green. It's one of the colors that's in my paper. You can see all the green. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm just going to kind of stamp off to get rid of some of the ink, and then I'm just going to stamp right over the top. So it gives kind of like a little shadow. Hopefully you can see that. Not sure if you can see where that is. Just kind of makes it look a little, I don't know, just gives a little more color. Okay, and then we're also going to stamp, I'm going to stamp a little sentiment on the inside. This also comes from this stamp set, and it says, I'll show it to you. It says, "Good things are worth waiting for." So I'm going to stamp that on the men. So it says, it's going to say, "Enjoy the moment" on the outside. "Good things are worth waiting for" on the inside. I'm also going to, I don't think I want to do it in Granny Apple Green. So let me just clean that off real quick. I think I actually want to stamp it in black. And someone asked me the other day, "I never see you cleaning your stamps." Well, I do clean my stamps after every time I use them. I have a simple chamois that I use. I've cut it in half because for me the bigger piece was just too big. And I keep it in an empty stamp case. You just keep it wet or damp in there, and you just wipe your stamps on it. It doesn't come off on your hand. It's great. So I do clean my stamps. In fact, you can watch me clean my other ones too. So always clean your stamps when you're done. Don't let the ink stay on them. So you can just wipe it off. So there we go. All right. Let me switch my ink colors here. So even if you don't see me cleaning my stamps, I do it as soon as I get off camera. So it's always a good thing. And I'm going to stamp this kind of up near the top too. So I have plenty of room to write. And then I think I'm actually going to put a little leaf on this inside of here too. So let me just, now that I've cleaned off my leaf stamp, I'm going to do it again. So I'm just going to stamp a little, I'm going to stamp off. I don't think I'm going to put one little bit right there. There we go. And now these are both ready to go on the inside of our card. So here's our card. Whoops. I'm going to take the belly band off. So this one is going to go on the outside. It's going to go right here. I'm just going to actually open it up so I can adhere it better. So how is everybody tonight? I hope if you're watching this, I would love it if you shared my video or liked my video. That's even better. So it's always nice to know if people like it. And let's get this going, make sure I have it going the right way here. Oop. All right, yep. Make sure I have it right side up and not upside down. So when you're putting it on, your little strip should be to your right. This is for the outside of my card. There we go. And then the other one is just going to be on the inside of my card. It's going to go right there. So let's just put a little adhesive on there. Oop, that's stuck there. I tend to put a lot of adhesive on mine. Some other people, they just put a teeny bit. I don't know why. I just want to make sure it's not going to fall off anywhere. Not that I've ever had anything fall off, but that's just me. And there you go. So now you can see when you fold it up, this is on the outside, that's on the inside. Got plenty of room to write my message. And now we're going to decorate our belly band. So the first thing I did is I took a little bit of this Bumblebee gingham ribbon, and I'm just gonna cut off a big piece here. Probably don't need quite that much. And I'm just going to wrap it around. It's actually going to cover up right where that seam is. And I'm just going to tie a little bow on it so you can, oh, we got to do it this way. So you can see I'm just wrapping it around, tying a bow. It's pretty easy. And of course I say that now as I'm struggling to get it through, but there we go. And you can make whatever size bow you want. I'll play around with it a little bit, make it the size I want. I'm just going to slide it up and cut the ends off a little bit. They're a little bit longer than I wanted. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card. And I'm going to do a couple daisies here. Second to put on since it goes with my paper. And that I'm going to use this little daisy punch. And this is just some Whisper White cardstock. And I'm just going to punch, actually going to punch 4 of these because I want to put 2 on here. So this is a great little punch. Makes it fast and easy to make a little decoration. And then I'm just going to kind of curl them up a little bit. You can, I'm just using my fingers, but you can use kind of like your curling ribbon. You can kind of curl it. You just don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to pull the petals off, because we're not doing the he loves me not daisy trick. But you know, like you do when you're kids and you're playing around. I kind of do 2 of these at a time. It just kind of helps it. So I'm going to do the same with this one. Just kind of curl it up. Just gives it a little bit more dimension. Makes it look more flower-like and not so flat, because you know flowers aren't flat unless you pressed them into a book, that is. So, and then they kind of go alternate a little bit so that when you're gluing them together, so that the petals are a little bit opposite each other. I am going to put these together with just a little dot of glue. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the middle of that one, a little bit in the middle of that one, and then I'm just going to layer them on top of each other. So, and with the glue I can kind of scoot them around a little bit so I can get it to look just like I want. I don't have it quite right in this right spot. And then they need a little something in the middle. So I have a little 1/2-inch punch, circle punch. And this is just a scrap piece of the Bumblebee cardstock. So I'm just going to punch 2 little circles. And we're just going to attach those with just a little bit of glue. So I'm just going to put a little dot in the middle of each one. And then just put that on. See, now it looks more like a flower, doesn't it? Okay. Put that on there. And then I'm just going to attach it to there. I am going to attach it with Dimensionals, just because it makes it easier to put on there. So just going to put 1 on the back of each one. That way they'll also just pop up just a little bit. So, but like I said, depending on what paper you're using, this one I picked a daisy because that's what's in my paper. But you can do anything you want. And then I'm just going to attach them here, And put this one over here. I'll kind of tuck him in a little bit. And there you go. Here's your card. So we have a little saying on the top, little belly band, slide it off, open it up, have your greeting inside, and when they're done, they can slide it back on. Good thing, or if you wanted, you can even flip it around and slide it on the other way, and then your flowers are on the other side. And you can also stamp a little thing there. So it can go on either way. So these are the two cards. This is the one that I had made earlier. You can see I used Whisper White. With this, I did put a little extra piece on there. So, but now you know what it looks like if you use colored cardstock. I think it looks great. I like them both. This one I did a little coloring instead of putting the little dot inside, but otherwise it's just the same as the other one. So you can see there's that one. I stamped down the side on this one. This one we stamped right in the middle. So there's your two cards. They are just, they're just fun. I love the way it folds because it just folds a little unexpected, and you have lots of pretty paper to look at on the inside. It's not just blank and white on the inside. So there you go. And these, like I said, these just slide right on and off. So I'll just leave that one open. So that's what it looks like when it's open. That's what it looks like when it's closed. And that's the card for today. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you'll try this. Hey Sharon, glad you came on tonight. So yeah, so now you know what they look like with different paper. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I would love to answer them. If you don't have a catalog yet and you want one, these are the new catalogs. They came out today. Just leave me a note and let me know. There's lots of good stuff in them, lots of good fun. In fact, the paper I used, I'm going to show you real quick, is in the Celebration catalog. It's one of the items you can get for free. And I'll fold this back. I'm not sure if you're going to see that, but these are all the different patterns. There's the one that I used, but there's all kinds of other little fun flower patterns. And you can see they've got some samples of other cards in there of things that you can make. So lots of good stuff. So even if you aren't ready to buy anything, these catalogs are great for inspiration for other cards, different ways to lay out cards, different ways to fold cards, different ways to cut things. So catalogs are your friend, are your crafting friend. So I hope you all have a great night. And hey Margaret, glad you like my cards. And I will catch you next Tuesday for the Take Two Tuesday. And I've already got a project planned, and it is super fun, and it is going to make 2 cards. So you're going to get 2 cards next week on the Take Two Tuesday. So have a great night, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.